guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with another process video using my June Kit with Style. And so I wanted to get one more layout done before I kind of retire this kit and mix things back into my stash. And so you will also see I have like an end of the month wrap up video that is also coming that talks to you about what I have left in my kit and why I'm okay with that. So I am using a bunch of just leftovers. So a lot of this is pattern paper that I had left over from the 12 by 12 paper pad. And because I put in an entire 12 by 12 paper pad and two entire 6 by 6 paper pads, I didn't anticipate using all of my paper. So the green and the pink, I'm going to kind of layer up together. And I didn't cut that pink one in any like special way. It was already cut kind of along the diagonal on the bottom. And I tried my best to kind of match those two patterns up so it looks like the pink and the green are a continuous pattern because they are the same pattern paper. And then I went ahead and layered in some of the black and white diagonal as well as that really cute pineapple paper. So this is just a 4 by 6 photo, and I have a thin white cardstock border that I have around the outside, which is kind of my go-to. I often use a thin white cardstock border around almost every one of my photos, just because I do feel like it helps it kind of stand out on the layout. And then I'm going to go ahead and just layer these strips together. So these strips were something that had been cut off of a previous project. I didn't cut them to a different size. I didn't do anything fancy with them. I just layered them onto the layout. So no additional measuring, no specifics, just layered them on there. And then I went ahead and grabbed some of that black and white striped washi tape and added it to the left and right sides of that pink kind of inner box that I have going on. And then I went back to the cut apart paper from the paper pad that has a little Enjoy Today and layered them up like you have seen me do on a previous video. And so that the phrase itself is three-dimensional on top of that card. And then I grabbed those crochet flowers and I'm going to put one in the top left and one in the bottom right. And I'm looking through the flare badges that were in my kit because I want to put one in the middle of that yellow flower. But it's a little bit too big for the pink flower. So I'm going to keep looking for something else in this kit as I go through all of the embellishments to see if there's something else that will work in the middle of the little pink flower because it is a little bit smaller. But I really like the flare in that bigger yellow flower. And I am still fighting with those bows, you guys. Like, I have got to get them on a page. Have to get them on a page. I am going to play with a bunch of these little puffy stickers to find one that I like in the center of that pink crochet flower. And that darker pink works perfectly and it matches my background paper. So I really like how that looks. And then I'm taking a look at the thickers to try and decide what I want to try and use up as part of my title. And so I decide my title is going to say Simply the Best. And so I am just flipping through the rest of the stuff, making sure, like keeping in the back of my mind that I know that's what I want the title to be. I'm going to add just a few more little die cuts and pieces to each one of my embellishment clusters. And so I'm kind of breaking the rule of thirds and those types of rules today because I'm only going to have these two major embellishment clusters. But based on the style of this layout, it really only needs two. There's not a fantastic place to put what would be like that third embellishment cluster unless I extend it over to the right hand side of the layout, like where the pink and the green mats meet. But I really didn't want to have another embellishment cluster over there because I am going to have an oversized title that I'm going to nestle right next to my photo. So I guess that's kind of my third embellishment cluster is that oversized title that's going to go on the right hand side. And so I'm going to take this little phrase and add some dimension behind it and pop it up over here on the left because I have wording on the bottom little cluster that's going off the photo. I want to have that same thing on the top. And I am going to use some of my Zotz Bling just to get that flare attached in the middle of the crochet flower. I did take those crochet flowers and just put them through my Xyron sticker maker. And that was like the easiest way for me to get those attached to the layout in a way that I knew were going to stay and not come off of that layout. And so I'm going to take my Calberteschi alphabet and add the word Simply to the title. So I had the words the best from that sticker pack. And once I put them on here, I decide they are not laying the way I want them to. So I'm going to pull them all up and start over because I want them to be nestled in a little bit closer. And so when I'm putting these down the first time, I am definitely making sure I'm not pressing them down completely. I put them on kind of lightly to begin with, and then press them down when I know that I'm happy with where it's going to be. And then I'm going to grab a couple of these little asterisks in that black foam and add those to my embellishment clusters just to tie in that black and white element that shows up in a few different places on the layout. And then I am back to these bows. I am absolutely convinced I am getting a bow on this layout. I know this is going to be the last layout with this kit, and so I am like determined. So I decide to grab that blue one and put it over where the T is in the, and I actually really like the way that that looks and the little bit of kind of embellishment that adds to the title. But I am feeling success because I got one of those bows at least onto a project this month. I hope you enjoyed seeing this process, and I'll be back to see you soon. Bye!